Hi, everybody. Welcome to Roland Pruitt. That's me. My Kaiju review. And in this show, this is show number 3. We are doing Rodan, or Rodan, as he's known in America. But again, the original pronunciation, the real pronunciation is Rodan, which is short for pterodon. I think. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, welcome to the show. Let me bring up my assistants that help me with the show, Anastasia
Thank
and
you for this. Yeah, thank you very much.
and Professor Walnut.
Yes, hello. Nice to be here again.
Good, good, excellent. So Radon is a pterodon. Evidently, he was in hibernation and atomic, atomic radiation. Evidently, was able to bring him back to life, just like Godzilla. So again, we're getting all these dinosaurs and stuff that are coming back to life because of the radiation, and that was kind of the theme back in the 50s. You know. In American films and Japanese, so especially Japanese, they wanted to point out, hey, you guys put all this radiation over here. I think they were trying to make a point. Anyway, so let's get into Radon. This is a screenshot of the Japanese version. I prefer the Japanese versions over the American versions. Or I should say Western. We start out in a little mining town. Oh, let me get my miner hat on. I got a mining hat just for this show. Unfortunately, it doesn't have like a liner, so it kind of sits low on my head there. It looks kind of goofy, but anyway. So yeah, we had this nice little mining town. I was talking to somebody about this, where this was. Give me a second. He always calls me when I'm doing a show.
That looks like that look.
So, I want to say Osaka, but I don't think that's it.
Yes, well, looks like West Virginia to me.
West Virginia, really?
Or somewhere in Appalachia, but no, it's in Japan, of course.
I'm looking at Wikipedia here to see. Rodan film. Here we go. They should tell us where it is. All right. Directed by Yoshino Honda, Tsuburaya. Shot in color. It's the first kaiju film to be shot in color. I got to mention that.
Oh. Very good.
Plot. Village of Kitamatsu, near the foothills of Mount Assel.
I beg your pardon. What did you call me?
Japanese island of Kyushu.
Kyushu.
Yeah.
I heard it's lovely in the spring.
Miles away airbase. Mount Assel. Yes, I swear to God, it's called Mount Assel. ASO, Mount Assel. We're sending a Rodan emergency of Mount Assel. When his wings injured, Rodan flies to Fukuoka. It just gets worse and worse, folks. Fukuoka. Wow. So that's where the film takes place. Mostly around Mount Assel, though.
Mount Assel.
So you got to wear a miner's hat when you go into Mount Assel.
Oh, yeah. All you're missing is that cool little light on the forehead there.
Okay, what we just had, there was a fight between two of the miners, and they're going down into the mine together. One of them's sister is Keo, who is the leading lady of the picture. Her brother, her brother's not named shit. I'm sorry. And I shouldn't cuss. Gosh darn it, I'm trying to keep it clean.
You've been cutting.
Can we cut that? Can we bleep
We
it?
have to do the beep. The FCC does not allow such things. Roland, you're in a mood today. I don't know why.
No, before the show, I said a bad word too.
And then you're saying Mount Asshole and now calling the brother shit.
No, asshole. ASO.
Okay. I'm just saying you're in a mood today. It's very attractive actually, but
Goro is the name of the brother.
okay.
Kyo's
That's
brother.
the FCC doesn't have, it's not Dirty Dozen. That is not one of the Dirty Dozen.
Okay. So here's something. This movie came out in 1956, and these guys are talking about global warming. They're talking about global warming in 1956. It was even a thing back then.
But the Donald J. Trump has said this is not true. It's fairy tale. So I don't know.
Well, I live in Central Florida. We're getting ready for Hurricane Milton to come in, and he's like a hurricane that nobody's ever seen before. So by gosh,
yes,
yes, I gotta say I'm a little bit of a believer in the scientists and all the intelligent people, and not the guy that talks about windmills causing cancer. Sorry.
Well, it's possible Trump is not that brilliant. I've noticed that myself. I don't really get involved in the American politics, but you're right.
Yes, we shouldn't get into American politics, but I'm telling you right now, there is something to global warming, and we're seeing the effects of it in these terrible hurricanes that we're having now. So anyway, back to Mount Asshole. Yeah, these guys were talking about global warming, talking about the poles melting, even back then. So that's how long politicians have been taking the money and looking the other way. Since 1956.
You would think that you think someone would have done something about it like half a century ago.
You would think.
See, the
that
Japanese
would have been the time to do it. Yeah.
The Japanese are so far very sophisticated people, and they're very ahead of the curve. And here they are, 1950s already. With their high-speed rails and giant
monsters.
Well, yes, that is
you have
true.
To be damn intelligent to deal with that.
Exactly. Yes. And they come up with all sorts of interesting solutions to their.
Okay, I just want to point that out. That's our leading man on the left there. That is Kenji Sahara, who is he's been a lot of the Godzilla films. He plays Shigeru Kawamura. And evidently there's been a problem down in the mine, and they're pulling up bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like an explosion down the mine or something, and they're pulling up bodies, and he goes down to see what's going on, and they pull up the guy. He's floating face down that Goro was fighting with. So they think Goro might have killed him, and like went crazy or something and killed him, and then he's hiding in the mine. The doctors take a look at the body, and the it's all cut up bad. There's Kyo, the leading lady. She's the girlfriend to Kawamura, to Shigeru. That's a crazy name. Shigeru, maybe. Shigeru, maybe. So they have a roll call, and Goro's not in the roll call. So they go, "Oh, Goro's the guy that killed, and he's hiding down in the mine." This helmet looks a hell of a lot better with a liner in it, and on Kenji Sahara than it does me. But I digress. I say that because General Howitzer always says that. I digress, and I think that's funny. So a bunch of other guys go down into the mine to see if they can find Goro, and it's flooded from the explosion, so they have to tie a rope around each other so they don't lose each other as they go down into the water. And then the first guy in the line is and they should have heard the Jaws music, dun 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 dun, because it pulls him under, and then it starts to pull the rope on the other guys, and they're trying to get the rope loose. The last guy in the line gets the rope loose, and he gets to a phone, and the other guy's shooting, and he gets pulled under, And then you see a shadow go over the guy that's on the telephone, and he screams, and that's it. That's all she wrote. And we hear this kind of strange sound, kind of like that, kind of a tweety sound. The doctor's pulling these three bodies, and they're just like the first one. They're all mangled up, and the doctor's like, "This is a terrible, terrible thing." If this Goro's doing these attacks, he's psychotic because he's just slicing them all up. And all the women in town are talking about him, and his sister Kyo. She's fearful for her life because all the other women are screaming at her through her paper door. You get scared when your walls are made out of paper, and people are cussing at you through the walls or through the paper. Yeah. So anyway, Shigeru. I want to say Shigeru. Kenji Sahara comes in. I'm going to call him Kenji. That's just easier for me. Because I don't want to bastardize the name anymore. I already have. He comes in. She's like, "Oh my God, they want to kill me." Just something like that. And he's like, "Well, yeah, they think that Goro killed these other men, and I don't think he did it." And just as he's saying that, a Meganulon comes in. Meganulons are these giant caterpillar-like creatures that have like big pinchers, and again they do that. I can't do the sound. They do that kind of sound. Anyway, it comes in, and the weird part is he runs out, leaving Kyo there with the Meganulon. He goes out to run to get help. He's like, help, there's a giant monster, come. So the security guys in the neighborhood there come, and then some other people come, and they're like, wow, what's going on here? And then the Meganulon comes back in because he smells food, and they shoot at it, and it goes away. It runs out the back door where it came in at. And they chase it. They go out the front door, and they chase around, and he's going out the back alleyway there. And he goes on up the mountain next to them that they've been, strip mining. And they see him up in the top of the mountain. That's probably a slide or two down from here. Yeah, here's everybody getting ready to go. Like, in the old Universal films, they used to have like a mob, that used to come with torches. That's kind of like what this is, except with guys in uniform and helmets and security guys that are dressed like Barney Fife. So, and there's the Japanese Barney Fife right there, about to be attacked by a Meganulon. Mm-hmm. Oh no! Here he comes! I only got one bullet. And he gets taken down with another guy. Two guys. It's got very fast pinchers, so it kills two guys just like that. So they take those guys' bodies back, and of course the bodies look exactly like the previous bodies. So now they know, it wasn't Goro. It was this caterpillar monster, Meganulon.
I've got to say, for a movie from the 1950s, it's an awful lot of blood. Did they have that much blood back then?
Well, this was the first one in color, you see.
Ah.
So they wanted to utilize that color.
Yes.
So yeah, it's pretty violent actually. But then when you realize at the same time Hammer Films was making some pretty bloody films, they were getting an X rating in England, because of all the violence. You can have sex in movies over there, but if you have the blood in it, man, you get an X rating.
Yes.
Kind of crazy. So the caterpillar goes off into the mountain. He's got a little cave there he goes into. And they got to be careful now because these things are this thing. They think there's only one of them. There's a whole bunch of them, actually. They think there's only one, but he's roaming around the neighborhood now. He's found a way. So they call in the military to help out. The military comes with machine guns and turrets, which I really like that idea. I think that's a good idea, as General Howitzer would say. And when these things come out, they machine gun it. And it deters it. Let's say that. And they keep moving on down. And then Shigeru, played by Kenji Sahara, he decides he's going to ride a coal car down into one of these Meganulon to kill it, because the machine guns just kind of bounce off it, but it hurts it. I mean, they go the other way. But so anyway, he kills one with a coal cart. Jumps off just in time, and it runs right into the creature and kills it. But then we realize there's more than one. There's a bunch of them. And he finds the body of Goro. So Goro's name has been restored. He died like the others. Then there's a cave-in. They were shooting machine guns and stuff in there, and there's a cave-in on Shigeru. So they've lost Shigeru. They bring in a Professor Kishiagi, played by Akihiko Hirata, who also played Dr. Serizawa in the first Godzilla film. And he's been in a lot of the Godzilla films as different characters. So he's telling them, we've got to find out more about these Meganulon, these creatures. Somebody got a picture when they were down in the cave with Shigeru earlier, and they were able to show it to him. And he's like, this looks like a prehistoric creature. Oh, no shit, Sherlock. Oh, I did it again. Darn it.
Oh, gosh, no.
There's the picture. Darn it. Beep.
You're going to get flagged.
I keep doing that, and I shouldn't do it. So anyway, I'm going to take this helmet off. There's no coal mining things going on right now. So they're looking at the Meganulon, and he's like, oh, this thing looks like a prehistoric creature. Wow, we need to get closer to these things and see if we can find more so we can study them. You know, scientist stuff.
Yeah, yes.
Then there's an earthquake, and it's a pretty sizable one. And they all shake and shimmer. And oh, by the way, there's news people in the background there, and one of them is played by his name is Izeki, and he's played by Yoshifumi Tojima, who's in a lot of the Godzilla films. He's in just about every Godzilla film somewhere. He's a character actor. He's kind of portly. Usually has a little mustache, but I think here he's clean shaven. Anyway, we have an earthquake, and they decide to go out and survey the earthquake damage around Mount Aso. And they see Shigeru walking around down at the bottom, and they go and rescue him. And they bring him back, but he's got amnesia. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't know anybody. He's got a bad bump on his head. He's traumatized by something, and so they bring him back in. And he doesn't recognize his father. He's got a nice big bandage on his head now. They bring in Kyo, because nothing will bring back your memory like a girlfriend. And no, look at him. He's like, well, I'm afraid of you. He doesn't even like women anymore.
Mm-mm.
So anyway, she's gonna take care of him, even though he doesn't like girls anymore. They keep doing tests on him, trying to find out what happened, what's wrong, how he survived. And they're showing him pictures of the Meganulon, and nothing. They're not getting anything from him. Nope. Sorry. Try another day. Now, there is something flying around in the sky. It's a UFO, and it's making supersonic moves that no aircraft on the Earth can make. And it's been reported to the military, and they send jet fighter pilots up there to kind of check it out and see if they can see what it is. And it's doing all kinds of loop-de-loops and stuff that planes can't do. And the guy gets too close, and whatever it is crashes his plane, blows it up real good.
It's probably the Russians.
Yeah, who knows?
Those crafty commies. They just perhaps not.
Well, we know it's Radon. We know it's Rodan.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but the military doesn't know yet. They don't realize what this thing is. And again, nice bloody helmet.
Yes.
I like the fact that they took his clothes off and just threw them on the table there. Here's his clothes. Call his wife. Have her come in, inspect the clothes.
Identify what's left.
So this shows that the creature is moving all over. It flies over Beijing, or the UFO, I should say. And that's what a Beijing news desk looks like, I guess. It flies over the Philippines. That's what a Philippine news desk looks like. It's not as nice as a Beijing desk. A little thin, a little sparse compared.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a sound booth behind it, which is nice. So the creature's flying over the Philippines. And then it's over Okinawa. And there's a guy there on a radio, a military guy on a radio going, "Hey, it just flew over." I'm pretty sure that's what he said. And then Tokyo. Now, this guy, and I wish I wrote his name down before the show, but this guy plays a newscaster in several Godzilla films, several Kaiju films, including this one. He is a real newscaster, I believe. And he plays a newscaster in a lot of these movies. Here's a guy staying at a rich hotel. Him and his girl are going to go to Mount Aso and take some pictures. He's a photographer. He's a Japanese guy, and he's a photographer. I just want to point that out. He's a photographer. He's into photography, and he's from Japan. So, did I mention he has a camera and he's a photographer? There he is.
Yes.
So he's going to take pictures of his girl. He's got kind of a Hawaiian shirt on too, which is kind of weird. But he's taking pictures of his lady friend there. She's all sexy, and then she looks up in the sky and she freaks out and screams. Ah! That's not how she screams. That's how I scream. Sorry. Ah! Is that better? Hey, Anastasia, can you scream?
No, because I have to be very careful with my throat. We're getting into autumn, and I have to be very careful because of the wind. I can't do scream queen. I cannot do it.
You're not a scream queen. Okay.
No, it's not good for my vocal cords because I also sing opera on the side. So I have to keep like tea and honey and all of this thing. I do up.
An opera singer, really?
Yes, because I'm from Transylvania, and that area has the best opera singers in the world. It's not even about Italy; it is about Transylvania. We have best ones in the world.
Did you hear that I mentioned this guy's from Japan and he's a photographer? He's into photography.
Yes, it's just too. It's too much. It's too much. It's too accurate.
That's his hobby.
Of course, it is. Of course.
He looks up and he sees whatever it is that she saw. So he loses about 5 pounds of brown, and something flies over, and that's it.
Did you say 5 pounds of brown?
Yes.
Is that what I think? Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
you're
that's
so
the
funny.
nicest way I could put that. You're
so funny.
Dirty words, so that's a nice way I can put that. There's a shoe and there's a camera, and then the scientists get the camera and they photograph they develop the film. By the way, I didn't ask Professor Walnut to scream because I got a feeling that's not his thing.
No, I'm not a screamer. I'm more of a moaner.
Well, I am in certain circumstances, but again, I scream like me. I don't scream like her. So
no.
So they developed the film hoping to find some hot shots, and instead they find a picture of a pointy thing, and maybe it looks like maybe a claw. So they take it to Professor Kishiyugi. Man, I wish I'd have written that down proper.
One of those.
And he's like, well, wait a minute. Or one of his assistants goes, wait a minute. That looks, wait a minute. Let me go over here. And he goes over and he gets a book and he pulls up a book on, prehistoric birds, prehistoric flying creatures. And it looks like the wing and the claw of a pterodon. Rodan, pterodon, Rodan. There it is. And he matches it up just to show him. Look, see? And they're like, oh, yeah, that does look like it, doesn't it? So he said, well, maybe we should show it to Shigeru. And he's just sitting there doodling. You know, he's brain dead. And Kiyo was like, man, I wish I could get my man back. And she's like, oh, look, there's a little bruise of laid eggs, and the little eggs are about to hatch now. Let me show it to you. So she takes the nest out of the cage, which you're really not supposed to handle those things because the parents will kill the babies if you do. And she gives it to him, and he looks at it and he's like, oh, yeah, look at that. And the egg starts to hatch. And that's it. That's what triggers him. Go! And he goes back to the time he was in the cave after the collapse. He wakes, he's woken up. And it's pretty nasty in there, and he's surrounded by Meganulon. So it's amazing he wasn't already killed, that they didn't like feed on him, you know? I don't know how long he was out, but they stayed away from him for some reason.
Yes.
I guess that was in the script.
Yes, plot armor.
It's not like he had a can of bat Meganulon repellent, on him. He just mysteriously still alive, not torn to shreds in Meganulon meat. So and surprisingly, right after he wakes up, so does Rodan. He breaks out of his shell. Little baby Rodan. And there's a shot of the wind of his flapping his wings from the shell, and it's traumatizing, He just and it eats the Meganulon too, all around him. So Shigeru had to watch all this, so that's why he was traumatized. He didn't just hit his head. He watched a baby Radon hatch and then eat a bunch of Meganulon right in front of him. Now, me, I would have been like, yeah, eat those Meganulon. Yeah, they're going to eat me, man. Hey, wait a minute. Don't eat me. Stay away from me. And he comes back and he says, Kiyo. And she's like, oh, I've got my man back. And he's all sweaty. Radon made him sweaty. So now they show him the pictures again, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's it. Uh-huh. I'm saying that's the one right there. And he takes him down into Mount Assel, deep into the bowels of Mount Assel. And
you're enjoying yourself, Roland. You're in an interesting mood today. You're very wild today. You're very wild. Very.
Oh, they're back in the cavern. I got to put my helmet back on.
Yes,
so I wish I had light
protect
on
the
it
skull.
Now. They got light. So they find a piece of eggshell. It looks like it's like that thick. Looks like something you would pack a box with. It's like big ass styrofoam, and it's heavy, and evidently it changes size because in the next scene it's like twice as big as it is here. So they find one piece, and then there's another cave-in. Starts another earthquake and a cave-in, and they have to get the hell out of there. And that kind of just covers up all the evidence. So all they have is one piece of eggshell. But they got that. So, okay, now I can take my helmet off. Back in the lab, Professor... whatever. The prof. He's checking out the eggshell. This thing is like hundreds of thousands of years old. It's amazing. But we still don't know what it is that was in it. We can guess it's a pterodon. But there it is. So they take it to another place to check it out, and the other guy's really impressed with it. He's really digging it. That guy's played by another actor, the guy with the sunglasses, with the eyeglasses there. He was also in Godzilla. He's also in several other films. You'll see him in The Mysterians next week when we do it. He plays professors a lot and dignitaries. I don't have his name in front of me, sorry. And this is his only scene. He only does a bit part here. He just does one little scene, and then they cut back to the prof doing his little meeting for the press and for the military, and he says, "Okay, this is the creature we're dealing with. It's a pterodon. We're going to call him Rodan, and this is the area that he usually flies around in, and go out there and get him." So the military gets into a couple of jeeps, and they go out to Mount Aso because they think he's there still. And sure enough, hey, there he is. He's flapping around. They're like, "Hey, whoa, oh my God. We didn't think he was going to be like out and awake." But sure enough, there he is. And they're like, what are we going to do? And this poor guy, the guy goes, "Hey, go back and tell headquarters." And he gets in a jeep. He's like, "Yes, sir." And he gets in a jeep and he goes off. And Rodan doesn't like that because he takes flight and he flies over the jeep. Poor guy. Here he is taking flight. Na, 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 na. Actually, let's talk about that. There is a movie that we're going to do in a couple of weeks called Varan, and that is actually Varan's theme. In this movie, they had different music by the same man, Akira Ifukube, and ironically, the Varan theme from the two films later, from 1958, would later become the Rodan theme in all the later films that had Rodan. And that's the sound of it. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So anyway, he flies over the Jeep here, and the Jeep is just spun into garbage. It's woo right off the ground, spins a couple of times, and crashes headfirst into the rocks there. Yeah, poor guy.
Yes.
He was just going back to the base. Don't kill the messenger. Come on. And
yes, he got caught in the whirlpool.
What's that?
Oh, I was just saying. Yes, he was unfortunately the victim of the whirlpool that generated by the Rodan creature.
Yeah, well, again, when these
sonic blast.
Yeah, it's like, it's there's a big wind, and not the bad kind. It is bad kind actually.
That would be the bad kind. Yes.
But it's like a hurricane gust. It just
yes.
Woo.
But then what would you expect from something coming from Mount Aso? So.
Correct. There it is. You were able to tie it together. So the military now are like, okay, we're going to send some planes out and try to chase this thing. So the Japanese air something D, they chase after Rodan. And there he is above the clouds. And he's so fast, it's very hard to keep up with him. And again, he can maneuver. He can make maneuvers that planes just can't do. So he can spin on his heels and go right back at him, which he does many times. Not good to chase after him in an airplane because you're outgunned. That's the Top Gun right there. And there's the proof. Flies over one of the guys, that's it. The plane's just a mess. It just blows right up. Yeah. Too much force, too much power. Yep. So we got a nice shot with some tracer bullet there. And again, when Rodan comes at you head first, look out. You better get the hell out of the way.
Yes.
So a nearby town, Fukuoka, I guess that's what it is. Um, uh, they've got a tour group on top of a bridge, and they're watching all of this going on. Take pictures. They all got cameras. We didn't have mobile phones back then, so their tour guides are like, get in the buses, let's go. We gotta go do some shopping. Because that's what they do on tours. They just take you shopping, take you to stupid places, and they take you shopping. So Rodan goes under the bridge. He's being chased by the planes. I'm not sure why, because I don't think that the planes, the gunfire is really hurting him all that much, but maybe he's playing. He's just playing. So he dives down into the water under the bridge. They keep shooting. They go under the bridge. And then he comes back up on the other side. Japanese Air something Defense Force. I don't know what the S stands for. But there he is coming up out of the water. Security? Japanese Air Security Defense Force?
Yes.
All right. Did you look it up?
Yes.
Okay. So again, Rodan is. They had a Rodan costume that they had a guy wear, and then they had this Rodan, which is just a kind of a glider kind of that they use for flying shots. So Rodan, just to show them, flies back over the bridge again. He does a loop-de-loop, flies over the bridge, and takes the bridge down. He's like, I'll show you. So the fighters go after him. They continue to go after him. They continue to shoot at him. And then he goes into Fukuoka, the town. And luckily, the military is close by. The tanks are rolling. People are boarding up their shops. And again, they have no idea how powerful this creature is yet. That it is going to be another Godzilla. It's going to be a bad kaiju. Naughty, naughty kaiju. So everybody's watching and waiting. Our military guys are now in Fukuoka. They're watching. And Rodan takes light in the town, just over a building. I'm sorry, my eye itches. That's what the Rodan looks like up close. Radon. That's my Rodan impersonation. It's not great. But I don't know of anybody else that does one. So yeah, he's just little bird feet going down there, crushing stuff. He doesn't have big feet like Godzilla, that's for sure. But his wings, oh my God, his wings, when he starts flapping them, oh man, Hurricane Category 10.
Yes.
I know there's no category over 5, but it's pretty darn bad.
We have to make a special one for Rodan.
Category 10.
Yes.
Scientists are actually talking about adding a Category 6, but if a hurricane reaches Category 6, you better get out. You better get. There's no sitting through that one. So yeah, that's what this is like with Rodan. So the military comes in, they start shooting, and Rodan's not happy about it, and he starts blowing his wings again. And he's kicking up a lot of dust. And the military doesn't seem to have any effect on him. The missiles, the bombs, the tank fire, it's not really hurting him at all.
You'd think they'd learn by now, after having to deal with Godzilla, that these giant creatures are impervious.
Yeah, well, with Anguirus, he had a very thick skin too, especially on his back. Yes. Rodan, it looks like he's laughing about it on the right-hand side. Yeah, you're shooting those little things at me.
He probably is. Like, yeah, silly humans.
You think you're going to burn me? I've been buried in a volcano for thousands and thousands of years. So here's the thing. He's doing his wings and it's blowing away everything. These guys are close enough to see him with binoculars, and yet not a hair has moved. They're looking out the window through binoculars and nothing. Not even a little wind. Is that the scene where the military guy gets blown against the tree? Yeah, and again, it looks like Rodan's laughing about the whole thing. No, there he is.
There he is.
That's a famous scene. That's used in like 4 of the different kaiju films. There they had like Mothra and Rodan. The poor little military guy keeps catching onto that tree going, okay, good, I'm safe. Oh, no, okay, there we go. He flies away.
Hmm.
Game over, man. I did make him sound like Bill Paxton there for a second, didn't I?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Oh, here I go. Oh, sorry. There's a little Louis Tully in there, too. Game over. So, yeah, things are catching fire. Again, these guys are right there. Like, oh, well, yeah, that's not good. and Rodan, just to show them, Rodan comes up next to their building. I'm like, oh, you guys are no hair's gonna blow? Huh? Okay, let me show you. And he starts to take the building down. Bastard! Now I can never get this map pulled in again. Again, I don't know what the hell he's doing with the map. You know, like that. And then a second Rodan shows up. There's 2 of them. They're a husband and wife team. And you know, to make matters worse, like, oh crap, how can it get any worse than this? Oh great, there's 2 of them.
Where did the second egg come from? There was a cave in. Did it hatch before? I guess it must have hatched before this one did.
That's my guess. Is that it hatched before this one. And I don't know, the shell.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you just didn't realize there was another big shell back behind the first one. Yeah, pretty traumatized, you know.
Yes, poor fellow. Yes, quite.
So yeah, the city's in flames. Yeah, this is not good. These Rodans are going to just destroy the world if we let them. So we have another meeting with the professor and the police chief, Nishimura, played by Akio Korori. Korori? Okay. Korori. Talking about Rodan and what can be done, and they're pretty sure that it's still in Mount. Both the Rodans are living in Mount Asol, which is volcanic now. Again, it's a volcano. It's not active, but it's a volcano. And there's some steam coming up from it, and they're probably living there. That's what these guys say. And Kawamura, played by Kenji Sahari, is still there. It's like, wait a minute, this guy's a minor. Well, what do you need to be there for? Well, he's the only guy that's really seen it. Well, we've all seen it now. Why do we need this guy here? What the hell is this guy doing in the meeting? What's he doing in the helicopter? He's a minor. So yeah, again, I understand the prop being there. I understand the news guy being there, but why the minor? What's he doing in the helicopter? I want to see it again. I will pay big money if you take me with you, so I can see the Rodan again.
It's part of my therapy.
So there it is. Doctor told me I had to go. I like that.
Confront your fears, my friend. Confront your fears.
So a bunch of bones down there in a certain area down there at Mount Asol. And they're like, hey, that could be where the Rodans are. Very possible. And we see a little Rodan beak poking out there.
Yeah.
Who the hell's out there? Is that a helicopter? God damn it. I can get away with damn it. I can say damn it. I just can't say the other words. The other ones I was saying before I was discussing Mount Asshole.
Well, the rather, the unfortunate thing is, and we sort of missed it on the skeleton may have been the young lady that was, the picture was being taken, because you can see one of her high heels there.
Oh, really? I didn't notice the
Yes,
high heel. Can we go back?
yes.
See the high heel? I didn't see the high heel.
Yep, see, right there.
Ah!
Oh, there it is.
Is there a high heel there? I mean, I see
Yes,
like
yes.
femurs and stuff, but
Right in the middle.
in the
Not middle.
middle, that's a high heel.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Right. Yes. Where
They
the
got
bow
his
tie.
camera already, yeah. So
Yeah. So, because we only saw the one high heel, and well, that's the other one. So
they should have
yes,
put a Hawaiian shirt there.
that would have been yes.
just
Yes.
just to be certain. But okay, good spot. I mean, good eye, Professor Walnut. So
Well,
they
yes.
were missiles. They're gonna blow up Mount Ossel with a bunch of missiles now. They got a bunch of like mountain destroying missiles, and they're gonna just bury these things again, which is a good idea. Obligatory evacuation scene. They're gonna evacuate everybody from Mount Ossel. There's the newspaper guys and the security and everybody. It's a good thing Shigeru looks out the window because his girlfriend Kyo is out there. She's like picking berries on Mount Ossel or something. He's like, "What the hell is she doing out there?" And he goes out there and he gets her and he says, "Hey, you got to come with me. Be safe." But weren't you in a helicopter flying over Mount Ossel a few minutes ago? It's not very safe. That's what it looks like she's saying there. She's like scolding him. Why?
You're a miner. What are you doing on a helicopter?
Oh, yeah, well, you're a miner's sister.
And he got eaten up. So
Take that. So they start firing at the mountain. And it blows up real good. Blowing up real good.
yeah, as the Americans would say.
What is that under my name? Please tell me that's not a credit from another show and another person.
I believe yes. It says you're retired.
I'm not retired. Can we change that? Put like
It's changed now. I changed it. Yes,
like
it's
put
changed.
Kaiju enthusiast or something, or Kaiju fan or something.
How about Kaiju genius? Because you're a genius.
Yeah. But I'm not retired. Not yet. I'm close. But my mom won't let me. So we're back at the blowing up of Mount Ossel. A lot of gas there, a lot of fire. Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh, I
Right,
thought that was the retired again. Okay, I thought she was playing games with me.
No,
Thank
it says
you,
Kaiju expert. Yes, yes.
expert.
Oh,
Okay.
Anastasia,
Thank you,
Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Sorry, she's on the ball. She
Gonna make my
knows what
head
she's doing.
go big.
I appreciate. Thank you so much. I have great admiration for you.
So they're all watching pretty close, actually. And it's blowing up good. And then they fire a missile, I guess a little low into it. And damn this map, I can't get it closed.
Still struggling with the map.
Damn map! Why? And it activates the volcano part of Mount Ossel. So big fart right upward. I can say fart. And the lava starts to flow. And the giant pterodons start coming out. Yeah.
Yep, there they
But
are.
like a moth to a flame, they say, these Rodans are fascinated by the fire coming from Mount Ossel. So one of the Rodans' wings get singed, and I want to think it's a girl for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably the other way around. It's probably the stupid guy.
It was,
And the wife's
yeah.
like, "Oh God, look at you now! Look, you're going down. You're gonna go down in the lava. Look, see, I told you not to get close." But no, It's probably the
like-
respectful husband that goes down to be with his wife. Has always been my thought since I was a kid. Was the first one was a girl, Rodan, that went down, and then the guy was like, "Oh, I got to go down to be with my woman. I can't just take off." Although one of these Rodans does survive and comes back in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. And what's crazy is they dig another Rodan out of a mountain in the next movie, which is Godzilla vs. Monster Zero, or in Japan, Invasion of the Astro Monster. And that might be the first Rodan that went down. I mean, anyway. That movie, the whole finding of Godzilla and Rodan in Monster Zero made no sense whatsoever. Godzilla is in Lake Myojin, which is nowhere near where we left Godzilla off at the end of Ghidorah King. Again, Godzilla and Rodan are alive at the end of Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, and you would think that they would spirit them away to Monster Island or something like that, you know. But Godzilla's sleeping at the bottom of Lake Myojin, and they have to blaze Rodan out of the side of a mountain. So I'm guessing it's one of the Rodans that was buried here at Mount Aso. It might even be at Mount Aso. I got to check that out. I got to look that up. Anyway, so that's it. That's Rodan, the first color kaiju film. I didn't have to colorize it. Yay! There is one more black and white kaiju film coming up in 2 weeks. It's called Varan. Not sure why they did that one in black and white, since they did Rodan and Mysterians in color. You would think they would be doing it in color from here on out, but no, that one's in black and white. I've colorized it though, or I should say General Howitzer colorized it for us. And hey guys, welcome. We're about to close out the show. But welcome. Hope you were watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If not, you can watch the replay. So yeah, Rodan likes to hang out in crazy places like Mount Aso and the city, the town of Fukuoka, the city of Fukuoka. What did you say to do? What? So
I can't even comment
where's
on
Yoka?
that.
Come on.
Yoka. I didn't even know her.
So there it is. Always one-upping me. Damn it.
He's very good like that. He's very brilliant. He has comedic wit, and he just brings it out, and you can't even imagine. Thank you for watching, Ken.
British scientist. He's pretty hip.
He's very hip, very cool.
So, again, hopefully I will survive Milton when he blazes through Florida, as will Rory Penland, who also lives in Altamont Springs, Florida. Thursday, General Howitzer, who I believe also lives in Florida, is going to do a double feature, I heard. A Dracula double feature, Dracula's Brats. Dracula's daughter and the son of Dracula. The only time that Lon Chaney Jr. ever played Dracula. They're gonna believe me. I was bit by a bat. Don't you know I turn into a bat at night? Sorry, that was a little Larry Talbot humor.
You and about 50 million other guys.
And next week on this show on next Tuesday, we're doing the Mysterians. Mogera. Also another film with Akihiko Harata. He plays the hero in the movie, one of the heroes. And in 2 weeks, we'll do Varan, the unbelievable. We're actually going to do the Varan movie, the one from Japan, colorized. The timeline will be in color, just like all of them.
Good.
And let's see what else is coming up. In 2 weeks on General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge.
Mm.
So they've got a good Halloween thing planned. We got Ghost of Frankenstein. We got Mothra on this show coming out after Varan. They got The Exorcist coming up on the 31st on Halloween on Big Picture Briefing Room. Also on Two Guys and a Gal Talking Movies. That's the Monday show.
Yes.
They didn't do the first one, which was about werewolves, on Monday because Rory Penland fell asleep.
That Rory Penland
knucklehead. So they're going to do it Friday at 7, I believe.
Oh.
So
yes. I was rather looking forward to it.
Talk about vampire movies. They're going to talk about ghost house movies.
Yes.
So they got a lot of good stuff coming up on that too. So keep an eye out on Monday nights for that. Did I miss anything, Anastasia? Do you know anything else that's coming up?
No, but probably no icing on Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Rory will be there if he doesn't fall
Yes.
asleep. He's done that to her too. He's fallen asleep when he's supposed to be doing a show. Knucklehead.
Oh dear.
Alarm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was. Yes. That modern technology is a wonderful thing, and yes, you can set an alarm and wake up at a proper time to watch these excellent programs.
All right. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Professor Walnut, for your wonderful one-liners. Thank you, Anastasia, for running the show for us and popping in and out.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I enjoy very much.
And we'll see you next time on Roland's Kaiju Review.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thanks.